So if you're just joining us, welcome back. So we're talking marketing and clients. So onboarding clients and Elisa kind of just mentioned last week we were talking about slow and steady, and you don't know really what's going on behind the scenes on anyone else's business. What's going on behind the scenes with yours, or if you jump on these calls, me and Megan are extremely transparent. So if you want to know the behind the scenes, we are the place to get behind the scenes of a real life bookkeeping business, because we both own and operate our own six-figure bookkeeping firms. So if you want behind the scenes, this is the place to be. But so we were just talking about onboarding, how many clients does it make sense to onboard? And we've seen people have great success onboarding 4 to 6 clients, in 1 month. I can tell you they're not doing that every month. As you grow, maybe if you have partners or the situation's a little different and you have like a team already. And I'm thinking of like if you're a CPA firm or you're a CPA and you have a like physical location and you're doing taxes, like there are some exceptions, but we're talking about the bookkeeper who is working from home, is looking for like a client load that they can manage and or oversee. So that's the bookkeeper that we're talking to, not the accounting firm comparison. Does that make sense? Just to kind of give some context. So like the very manageable um, income that can come with bookkeeping. And so I just mentioned that I only signed 2 really new clients in October and November, had some, or December, had some cleanups and things like that. That we were still working on. But because they were so much on the larger side, um, both doing multi-million a year, have, 5+ accounts, class tracking, all of these other things that we need to learn and get in. Plus, they all had cleanup. There's just, I don't want to onboard 1 or 2 of those clients a month ever, just because of my preference to what I want my life to look like. The why on why I started my business, that doesn't make sense to me. So I would rather um, make sure, like really make sure my rates are worth my time and onboard fewer clients. My goal, though, on average throughout the year, and this was true of last year, was a client a month. I think there are seasons though that I'm just okay with a client a quarter, but I do want so the client a month is what I found with that is that allows me to um build, like increase my revenue while preparing for if all of a sudden, because I had one client that had like 3 larger businesses with us. um he brought on a partner, and when he brought on a partner they actually changed to their, like the partner's firm, because the partner had more going on, all of those things, so we transitioned over. um but that's like that's like losing 3 clients in 1 month in that transition, which we're okay with. Like we're my view is to support them what they're doing, and that partner just truly had so much more going on. And so it for their relationship it made sense to go with the other partner's situation. um so I want to prepare for that. I now don't currently have a client that's so heavily part of my revenue that would be at risk of leaving. But if you were to have 3 clients, maybe they're not the same owner, 3 clients just leave in 1 month. Having had 1 client a month allows you to lose those clients without dinging your stable income. Does that make sense? Because then if you're on a trajectory, in 3 months you're going to replace that income, or you're going to have a cleanup that replaces it, and you're going to stay and create a more stable income than someone who's feast or famine, right? So they onboard 6 clients in January and they don't get another client until September. That is very much a feast and famine cycle, which we don't want to have in a bookkeeping business at all. So, um, but so then with marketing, how do we create a system where we have a client a month or two clients a month coming to us, depending on our goals. And there are a couple of key elements to doing that. One is having a system in place to onboard them. So knowing how you're going to collect payment, what you need from them, all of those things. So if you're super new and you don't have that, use our checklist. Like, let's get you through that, because that will allow you to move quicker through the process. Two, it's knowing what platform. I wouldn't try to be, and Megan, let me know if you think otherwise. I think one platform. Like if you're really new, just getting started out, like one, maybe two platforms, but it's going to be one main platform. So for me, it was Upwork was my main platform. I was very consistent on it. I had a system that I learned, and by trial and error. I didn't go through any training program. There weren't training programs at that point in time. There weren't training videos like I produced of what I did. It was trial and error, and I just stayed really consistent. And then my second platform was Facebook. And by that, I mean, I started just sharing what I was doing naturally on Facebook. I wasn't like trying to get clients on Facebook, but I wasn't not trying to get clients on Facebook. I just wasn't, that wasn't my main marketing platform. So I treated it a little different than Megan. Megan, do you want to say how you, just high level, how you did Facebook?
Yeah, so
That was your main
yeah.
platform. Did you have another, or was it?
So I did a lot of marketing in the beginning, just because it was like I'm gonna try everything and see what works because I didn't know what was gonna work or where clients were gonna come from, or and I didn't have a whole lot of guidance on that. Outside of like, hey, do some in-person networking, but I was working full time. So it's like I needed something that I kind of do around. So I did find some in-person networking groups that were in person. I mean, that were around work. They were in the evenings and stuff. But even with that, when I met those people in person, I added them to Facebook. But I went to groups where business owners were at, local groups, added them as friends, posted in those groups, found other business owners, like just searching through friend requests or recommendations and adding them as friends, and then just post it like crazy. Anything like multiple times a day, I would say probably 5 to 10 at one point, times a day. And even if it was just a motivational post, but I would tag my business in it, something. So every time they were on Facebook and scrolling, they were seeing that virtual bookkeeping firm. And then that's where majority of, I would say probably a 80-90% of my clients have came from was strictly Facebook marketing. I mean, now of course I have a lot of referrals and stuff like that, but yeah, majority of them have came from Facebook and just posting, sending friend requests, stuff like that. So I mean, I created all the, like every social essay created, all I had social media already set up. So I had LinkedIn already set up, I had Instagram already set up, all those things. So I just kind of rebranded them with business, with my business information. So that way, if somebody that I was already friends with on those platforms was looking for a bookkeeper, they saw that information. But yeah, Facebook was majority of what I did.
So step one, figure out your system or like your process for onboarding. What is it that you're offering? Step two, find one platform. Step three would be, and I think Megan alluded to this, would be super, super consistent with that. Because what we see and what we kind of talked about last week, if you didn't catch that episode, was distractions are so easy when you're starting a business because you might not be fully sure that you want a bookkeeping business. So you have the distractions of what should I be doing to make money? I will tell you, bookkeeping by far out of all the ventures I had tried before, it was like the one thing I was resisting. And once I finally was like, okay, I'll just say yes. My income around entrepreneurship blew up. Like it just became the easiest way to make a profitable income for me. I had tried e-commerce, I had tried all those things. they all work. They didn't fit my personality, what I knew. Like this made sense. And so when I stopped resisting, and I think the same is true for social media and all of those things, when we stop resisting um, what we don't want to do and we embrace what we do want to do. So one of our coaches, I really wish we had recorded, like I could have, like I wish we'd recorded that like call just so I could like go clip this. It was so good. She said this morning, so this might be you. If this is you, like listen up. Like if you're like, I don't know if I want to be doing bookkeeping. I don't know if I love bookkeeping as a task. She was like, she owned it. She was like, I do not get my high. This is not what she said. I'm trying, but like she, in essence, I do not get my high. I do not live to do bookkeeping. And that resonated with me because like I don't know if God like really made everyone to do bookkeeping, right? It would be a very boring world if everyone's like sole purpose in life was to be a boring bookkeeper, right? Like and but we enjoy doing the task. It's very systematic and you click buttons and right, you talk to people. But she was like, I do not live for it. What I do live for though is getting to get the work done so that because it enables me to do and live the life I want. It enables me to be 3 hours at my son's school. That was the example she gave, right? So I can spend 3 hours at my son's school because I'm not having to clock in or be accountable to anyone else in terms of time. So consistency and consistency comes when we have a very clear why and we know that why so much that in order to reach it we're going to want to show up. That doesn't mean go do something consistently that feels spammy or scammy or slimy to you, by no means. I think sometimes when we're resisting something we can put a sliminess on something that really isn't that slimy. Like Upwork isn't slimy, but if you felt like it was slimy then like you might be putting more into it. Facebook is the same way. Like Facebook is just a conduit for meeting other people. um so if you feel like meeting other people is slimy, you're going to feel like Facebook is slimy. So if the approach you're taking feels slimy, let's reevaluate the approach, not necessarily the platform. So those are three things that if you're stuck in your marketing, let's troubleshoot those three.
So I saw a post talking about that that somebody had made talking about because everybody's always like the algorithm doesn't like me, like all these things, and people don't like social media and stuff. And the post was just reminding them the point of social media is to be social. It's not it, and I think everybody leaves that out because like even with me posting on Facebook, yes, I posted on Facebook, but that's not the only thing I did. Like I was interacting with the people that I sent friend requests to their post. Like there's other steps and other pieces to it. So that way it's not, hey, all I'm doing is advertising my business and stuff. You're having genuine conversations and forming relationships and stuff because that's where the clients and stuff are going to come from.
Yep. So I think there's a lot to with marketing. And Megan, I'm going to hand it to you if you want to stop recording once you get to Q&A. Great. And then, but yeah, guys, pick her brain. She is a marketing kind of expert in the sense of she's consistent. Like if you're having trouble being consistent, if you're having trouble showing up, pick her brain. So like consistency, execution, that is Megan. So I will leave you guys to it. I have to jump off for a call. I'm so sorry. But
Thank you, Sherry.
bye guys.